Hey guys, what's up? This is XCaliber. I'm here with XCaliber's Garage. We are going to be looking at doing the SVs and maybe just looking at some of the bases and seeing what we could do with that. I think I might have my hands full with the SVs, but we'll see. You guys could hear me okay? Just want to make sure that I'm not cutting in and out like I was last episode. Hey, what's up, Tack? What's up, Bullet? Yeah, so last night I was up pretty late. I was gutting the forge here. I decided to gut out everything because I didn't like the way stuff was positioned as far as the RCS, and I'm being told that I use too much RCS. So we're gonna use a little bit more efficient of the space on this one and try to get as much storage in this thing. Kind of gut it out, make it a little more current. So, but yeah, that's I'm gonna do that off camera. This is it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna have to sit with this and really, I don't think that's gonna be good for a stream. But what I do want to do is I want to cover some of the SVs, most notably my latest SV, which is the Talon Blade Tactical Advantage. So I want to get this thing current. I did just release this very recently, so I want to get it back up and working again. Some of the older ones, we'll maybe look at that. Stuff like this, pretty easy. I don't really have cargo like that in this, just you know, real basic stuff. So I could just, you know, I could just throw a couple controllers on there and be good. This is going back in time a little bit, so I don't know. I don't know if the Switchblade's gonna get the treatment. We'll see. But you know, this is something that I definitely want to look at, which is the cargo pup. Ate that. Yeah, Bullet, I hear you. You know, this is what it's all about. You know, I designed this to be, you know, strictly a cargo mover. Is this a viable design anymore? I mean, no. Really, the short answer is no, it's not. I guess if you needed to have a lot of really small boxes for individual things, this would work. But the use of space is going to be a lot different in this. I wouldn't need to have access to every single thing because it's all going to be extensions and then a couple controllers. So could I design a cargo pup that meets the new standard of cargo? Sure, that might be something that I can design, and it might be useful to move stuff back and forth. Most notably, I use this in the Shattered Realm server. Recently, we would use this. I'd give one of these to the PvE factions, like Miss Box or something, and I'd have her fill it up with all the ammo. I had separate boxes for every ammo, and then when we needed to underway replenish all the different vessels out in space, I would just push one of these around from vessel to vessel and fill up, you know, with the ammo that I needed. So this was kind of my ammo hold, more or less, portable ammo hold. So stuff like this is still going to be useful in game. We just have to figure out how to cater it to the new system. So right now, let's focus on the Talon here. As far as the thrust, it's actually kind of a good thing because when CPU does come into play, this larger thrust is going to it's going to make up for some of those numbers. Now I do still have a lot of the smaller thrust, and you know, me trying to refit this thing with bigger thrust is just going to completely change the entire design. It's not really going to be feasible. Let's lift this thing up here. Oh, need some fuel. Go ahead and put it up in the air so we can get a full view here. That is loud. So yeah, as you can see, we've got lots of small thrusters and everything. So the CPU, I think, is yeah, it's a bit over. This is catered to be a POI tactical SV. It's not made to carry a lot of cargo. It's made to infiltrate and you know, carry back what you get, but that's little stuff, loot boxes and stuff. We're not talking about full salvage operations. We're not talking about, you know, complex big carrying type deals. So you know, there's other vessels for that. There's the cargo pups. There's the HVs. That's more of something that I would use in that respect, or even a CV like the rebar or something. So this is pretty loud, so I don't think I'm going to be able to continue with this thing up here like this. So let's go ahead and turn it off, see if it stays in the air. Yeah, it did. So that's still a thing. So another notable thing to say is, yes, I am in a survival game, and I do have the volume and weights activated in game. What am I? Oh, yeah. I hate how it saves it now. It's so weird. Okay, so yeah, I do have the weights and whatnot so that we can test on the spot. So it is a little weird to build in creative, but we're not really building. We're just kind of like refitting. All right, we're gonna keep that open. We're gonna turn signals off so that doesn't open and close every 2 seconds. All right, so let's see what we have here. So outside we're fine. I think this will have enough thrust. Honestly, once we fill it up, we'll test it. But I think this is still a viable option for POI destruction. So we will see. So as we go in here, obviously boxes everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and remove all these boxes. And I fully anticipate having to reallocate a lot of space here to get us where we need to be. That's not too many boxes. And honestly, like a small SV like this, I don't mind it having a couple of boxes, just regular cargo boxes, because in a personal fighter SV, you do tend to carry some personal stuff, your own meds, a little bit of ammo, maybe an extra set of armor, things to that effect. So, you don't necessarily need that in a full extension chain. So we will probably institute my usual color-coded box system. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so we have about this much space. That's okay. That's not bad. All right, so let's see. What was I doing? I was doing let's just clear this out. I was doing bases. I was doing a lot of weird stuff, HVs. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of this. We'll keep the oxygen. We'll need that. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and gonna go into SV mode here. This is hardened steel. We're gonna go ahead and grab that for now. We're gonna grab some extensions. We're gonna grab ammo controller, and we're gonna add a container controller. Yeah, exactly, Bullet. Yeah, fair point. In an SV, you're not carrying around, an entire buffet, right? There's no Sizzler extension in this thing, so you're carrying around some food bars. You're carrying around some some higher end stuff. More or less when you get to this point, you're level 20, so you're probably rocking rations anyway. So, yeah, fridge food thing isn't a big deal unless you're transporting back and forth. Maybe you hit the admin center and you looted all the fridges and stuff. So, yeah, it's good to have one. I got 2 in here, so we're good. No, I got 4. Wow, I've got 4 fridges in here. Yeah, I don't play around with fridges. So maybe we'll, yeah, I don't think that's a bit much, actually. We're going to go ahead and save that for some extension room, I think. So we do have the radar here. All this stuff is good. Now, things like these little half-block situations here, we can turn those into extensions as well. But the other thing I want to mind is that when we did the last episode, we realized that the extensions take energy, and you can't turn that off. So, yeah, it's something that we're going to have to mind here. So let's go ahead and, all right, let's throw the extensions in here for now. So we're committed to that. Obviously, these lower ones, we're not going to be accessing stuff from there. So we're going to keep that like that. Now, this is just as much a fighter, if not more so, than it is anything else. So it would actually make sense for me to have identical extension load capacity for both ammo and the regular cargo. So this is actually kind of an easy task here. I don't mind that being the same here. So let's put we'll put the controller in the center. I think that'll be fine here. So let's do that. Like so. And then we'll put the cargo one on this side like so. Put some extensions around here. And yeah, again, I really wish I had the wall block so that I could continue this outward, but let's see what we have with that. Extension triangles and not squares. Tell me why. Tell me more. Oh, lag shot. Yeah, I mean, lag shot armor, that's extensions. I don't if it hits the extension, like, see, that's the other thing that's the thing with this is that extensions, if any of these extensions get shot, whatever the contents in that entire chain spills out. So that's a bit of an issue. So you definitely want to protect all of your extensions. You don't want to leave any vulnerable outward. So yeah. Now, I mean, something small like this, something in PvE, lag shot is, it's you know, it's something, but it's not. I don't think it's that big a deal. This thing moves pretty quick and fast, so you know, worrying about lag shot in a PvE environment, it happens. But yeah, I'm not gonna build my entire, you know, base my entire design around that. I'll save that for more PvP builds and higher end HVs and stuff. Okay, so the other thing that I heard was the issue with getting in and out of the cockpit. Apparently I have mutilation. As a side note. Let's take care of that real quick. Mutilation. Alright. Oh gosh. What are they called? Kits, right? Yeah, let's just grab some kits here and let's take some drugs here. Nope. Oh. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't even reading. I was just taking them. Yeah, so let's get rid of that. So yeah. So anyway, what I was hearing was that there's an issue with getting in and out of this thing. So I'm gonna go out of God mode. What? That's weird. I docked. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm glitched. So this is a problem with the new patch, is that your the way you get in and out of these cockpits is a bit different. I was reading that they want you to have 3 blocks up for getting out of this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and test. What the guy told me was that he removed the So there you go. Alright, so we'll have to remove that little aesthetic gem. And oh, ooh, I was in God mode. Hold on. Let's go out of God mode and try it again. Okay. Now that's another problem, is there's these oh, is that's the warp tank. Oh, the generator's right here, right? Okay. So we might have to extend that out to, well, how far does that bother me here? So it's only 1 block, maybe 2 blocks. Yeah, so reds are going down. We're at about 3 reds right now. Okay, so maybe the best thing to do would be to just carry this one back. But I might have an issue with this if I do that. Yeah, I mean, it's still doable, right? Like, it's doable. I think, you know, and this is the same problem they had with Alpha 8. I remember it was the same issue. It was you glitched in it, right? So the problem with that is my this kind of kills my PvP designs, because those, I mean, I got those completely sealed up in here. So yeah, see. I end up, ow, yeah, that hurt. Oh, killed by severe impact. Awesome. Yeah, so that's bad. All right, we'll do that again. Nearest, the tomahawk. Good old tomahawk. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Thanks, Bullet. Appreciate that. All right, so back to it here. So yeah, so these builds are a big problem. I'm not even gonna mess with these. The Wazakashi and the Talon. I'd have to, I don't know, maybe if I remove the back of it, but let's not worry about those right now. Let's stay focused on the Talon here and get this done. Because honestly, I don't think there's a lot of work to be done here. Where's my bag? Oh, I probably need my bag, right? Bag would be helpful. I mean, I guess I could just get it again. Thank you. Okay. So... Hey, Bone Dog, what's up, man? Alright, so... For both of these, we're at about 12... let's go to this one. We're at about 1250. Let's do the ammo test here. This has got a little bit of everything. So that's kind of another thing I was thinking about was I assume a lot of people are changing the weapons themselves. You know, I could feasibly take some of the higher end stuff off and just have like the rockets and the Gatlings and take this thing down a bit. I mean, I assume a lot of people are just refitting it themselves, but like it's level unlock 20 right now. We could potentially make this thing a little more affordable. What's the yeah, so it's about 1,000 rare sterlings or cosium now, but I mean this is pretty inexpensive higher end SV, other than those high-end demands here. Let's play around with, oh, I'm in I'm in survival. All right, hold on. So let's remove the rail guns. What does that take us to? Still there. So, this was something that me and Jay Randall were looking at last night, is they have removed the maximum amount of weapons that you can have on a vessel. Which, yeah, I don't know if that's a thing or if that's a mistake. The last time they did this, it wasn't a mistake. When they did the CVs, they allow you to have a set group, so flak and rockets were put together, and you can either have X amount of flak and X amount of rockets, instead of having to only have like 4 of each or whatever. You can have 8 of one. It looks like they've made it to where you can have any of them. So, so look at this here. Current range, ammo, placeable, max amount 4. So it says max amount 4, but and I don't know if I should be showing this to anybody. Well, yeah, I'll just leave that. But yeah, so if I could put, let's try this. Let's just try it. But I don't really want to. Okay, so there's 6, right? So I've already got some rocket turret or rocket launchers on here homing. I've got 4, which is the max amount. But as you can see, it's not telling me no. Yeah, railguns are crap. So yeah, look, I can put another 4. I could put 6, and from what I was seeing, so let's do this. Let's try to save it. So let's go Alpha 9. Whoop. We'll just take the tactical off there, and we'll make it Alpha 9, and we'll save it. And then let's go to the blueprint here. What should be under here? Talon Blade Alpha 9. It is not in red. Oh, it's unlock level 15. It is in red. Oh, because I'm in survival and I'm not level 15. Hey, Frag, what's up? But yeah, no, it's allowing you to do it. So yeah, I've got 10 rocket launchers on here. So if I wanted to, I could build, you know, I'm not going to do that with this because this was what it was. I don't really want to change it too much, but I will probably... What do we have here? We have 2 Gatling guns, so we can add another 4 Gatling guns, which would, you know, could be the front here. Let's do that. Let's grab some Gatling guns. There we go. So I think I had it in more, right? Yeah. Let's take these in more. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's I believe that that's a new feature, and they just kind of, I don't know if they said it in the patch notes somewhere, but that's a thing now. So yeah, I'm gonna take full advantage of that if that's the case. So we already have 4 rockets, and we already have the 6 Gatling guns. So, you know, but I could feasibly just add more Gatling guns here. I don't want to do that because if they fix it, and then I gotta come back and I gotta fix this again to where it's the legal limit. So I'm gonna leave that for now. You know what? Instead of having them all in the front, let's put the other Gatling guns out on the wings to spread the damage a little. So I'm gonna put these here. And then it just looked weird with them not being there. I could just put blocks here to protect this. Yeah, please do, let me know. Alright, so let's get rid of the fridges for now. We're gonna put in some truss blocks for now so people know they can remove them to add the guns as they see fit. We'll actually go one deeper in here. Like so. We'll put our little, these are supposed to be gun textures. And we'll even be more obvious, and we'll put a G. So people know. Now, doing that, taking off all those fancy guns, we took this level down to unlock level 15. So, I like that. I like, yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. So, you know, if that's the case, if we could now have, you know, 12 rockets on a vessel or so, I mean, you could make some real specialized SVs. You know, you take the newest one by Jay Randall here. I mean, this is a specialized SV for picking up auto miners. You know, I mean, it's you know, it's not a literal thing, but it's awesome because you could literally park right up to it, have it in here, and when you get out of the cockpit, you're right there in front of the auto miner. You don't even have to get off of the thing, and you can just jump right back in. So pretty ingenious. But you know, it opens itself up for specialized builds like this, but more in a tactical way. So you know, you can have like the rocket ships rolling out, and you know, hitting what needs to be hit. And oh, I just got a lag spike there. So, all right, so we'll leave that. That's good. You got some protection there, but when you remove that, you know that you can remove those trussing blocks, and you can add the guns that you need to add. So we're good on that front. Let's okay, so now we know, for now, we need to get back to the ammo situation here. We need 15 mil, and we need 135. Okay, so at 1250, yeah, so yeah, so it's Can we get away another one? No. About 1,200. That's a good amount of ammo. Any mission you're going on that requires more than that, I mean, I don't see that, you know, being a need really. You know, we could maybe get away with squeezing a couple more extensions somewhere, but more or less, this is not bad. So I'm gonna leave that like that. Now, as far as the cargo, we're at the same here. Wow. Okay. Let's okay, so you know, let's do what do we want to simulate here? Let's just do steel plates. Steel plates are a thing here. Let's grab some steel plates. Can we hold a stack of steel plates? Yeah, we can. 2? No, maybe not 2. Okay, so about that, right? That's kind of nuts. I'd like to have a little bit more than that. Okay, well that's not really I don't know. That doesn't do it for me. Let's pick something that you would actually carry. Let's say on a mission here. I really wish that they made it to where when you picked up your bag, it went back into the slots that it was in prior. That would be phenomenal if they did that. Life-changing. All right, so let's do it literally right here. So let's say, you know, you're gonna find some sniper rifles and stuff. You're gonna find, you know, you'll probably find some ammo. You know, you'll find like some miscellaneous ingots or whatever. Maybe some parts. I don't know, some weird stuff, right? Like you tend to get some of these. So whatever, for you know, you're hitting a POI here, right? So yeah, guns are nothing. Regular ammo's nothing. I like that. This is where it gets heavy, right? So, you know. Hey, are you finding that much? Yeah, maybe. You know, you're getting some stuff, you're getting some parts. Let's grab some 31 of these. You know, you're grabbing some of these. That's a lot, really, but you know, I mean, you're grabbing some stuff like that. You're getting some of these, right? So, yeah, you're getting some meds and stuff. So it seems like the handheld stuff is properly weighted. I mean, you know, a couple stacks of ammo. That's awesome. You know, you got some extra guns. You got some things like that. So, you know, let's throw some oxygen in there. A whole stack of oxygen. Ooh, that's heavy. Fuel thing's interesting, huh? Look at that. You know, for the mission, I guess, is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. So, about that. Alright, so, you know, we'd obviously, I was thinking, like, should I mess with actually setting the constructors for people, but, you know, I more or less want to let them do that for themselves. You know, you might have your own way to do it, so I don't really want to mess with that. So I think we're still going to put... I have another question that I was thinking of the other day here. No, and that's not a thing. I was hoping there was a way to connect more than one of the same type of controller to the same system so you can have a redundancy of access. So, like, let's say I don't even want to go in there and I just want to be able to access it. I was kind of hoping that was a thing, but it doesn't look like it. Alright, so let's grab some, I'm going to grab some regular boxes here. Yep. Alright, cool. So, I'm going to grab these. Oh, these are fancy. I mean, they're fancy, but they look... What's that look like? That just looks weird, though, doesn't it? Doesn't really look like it's something you can interface with. What are the other options? All the regular options, and so you still have the big 2 ones. Is that the same size, though? 250? And then you have... this one, 2, 1. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, so it is double the capacity. That's good. All right, so for this purpose, you know, we're gonna do the go the classic route here. So do med. We'll do guns and personal ammo and stuff. Probably do another med here. I wouldn't keep fuel this far outward, right? It's not very protected, so I'm not gonna ask people to do that. Your fuel and stuff can definitely stay in here. All right, so we've manipulated that. Let's see if we can squeeze some more extensions into this system here. So we could certainly do that. That would prevent me from having these cool things, but that's all right. So let's remove these. We'll remove this as well. Let's extend these. Whoops, not that. The extensions, and we're gonna put these out. We'll just go as far as the constructor, I think, like so. Just like that. And then we could even do this. Just kind of top it on. Oh, never mind. I'll just leave it. I don't like doing it different on both sides unless I'm trying to do an asymmetrical thing. Okay, so now what are we looking at? Ah, now we're at 17 something, so that's even better. 1750. That's a little bit. It's a little bit more there, huh? So let's add that so when we fly, we're filled up here.
Sorry, I don't know that.
I swear I didn't say Alexa. Alright. Freaking Alexa every time. Alright, let's go ahead and texture these up. What are we at? 1, 2, so... I like that. There's some cool textures now. They've added some interesting textures to these extensions. I just really wish that they gave us these across the board, not just for the extensions, but yeah, it's a nice start. I like it. Oh. Do I like that more? Interesting. Oh, I like that. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, it doesn't let you do it on both sides. Let's try these for now. No, I did that. What was I playing with my kids? The song, guess the song thing. Boy, I killed them in the 90s stuff, man, but they killed me in the 2010. I didn't know anything in the 2010 group. That was killing me. You know what I noticed, right? Like, kind of off topic, but music's changed so much, right? Like, it used to be that, you know, there was a handful of artists and they gave you all the hits. Now it's like there'll be a hit song that you've heard across the board, but you have no idea who sang it. Like, I've never even heard of the person. You tell me the name and I'm like, who's that? But in the 90s, there's maybe like 10 artists and they did everything, you know? And then you got the little one-hit wonders, Soundgarden, and these little things like that. But more or less, nah, it's like the same people, right? So it's just interesting to see that. All right. Oh, that's, I like this. What's this? That's fancy. It's kind of cool. Let's try that out. Alright, and then these we're gonna do so when you're coloring stuff, this is true. Yeah, of course. I mean, the streaming game, everything's changed. It's a lot easier to get stuff out there. Flip the block around. Oh, that was late, but I know what you're talking about, Bone Dog. The texture that I did before. I don't know if that's a thing. Let's try that. Flip. I don't know if you could flip this one around like that. Oh. Oh, look at you, clever guy. Yeah, cool. I like that texture too, so let's keep that. Boy, you get in some trouble with this flipping around thing, though, I'll tell you that. Start flipping all kinds of crap around and you can't find it anymore. Alright, we're gonna go to a solid one on that. Oh. Alright, I mean, yeah, that's all I know is that one song. I guess if, you know, I didn't mean to start any feelings or anything. I'm just, you know, that's the only song I remember. I'm sure there's some other ones, but the Runaway Train song, that's like the only one I can really recall that they were super famous for. Alright, so these are extensions. Let's, no. Yeah, that works. Alright, so then we're gonna make this. Does this look good? See, the problem is some of these textures, they don't look great with the light colors, but they look really good in the dark colors. So you can see how well it takes that really dark gray. It hides all those little imperfections. Whereas if you go with light, you see all that weird, dirty stuff. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they... You know, I wish they gave us, like, 2 versions. Oh, yeah, Black Hole Sun. Okay. They did that? Wow, I'm trash. I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's a good song. Black Hole Sun, won't you come? Yeah, that's a good one. Alright, what are we doing here? Let's see, this one. Does that look better like that? I kind of like the, let's see. No, I kind of liked what it was giving me with the light, right? Yeah, kind of like that. Boy, I don't like those motion sensors though. That's annoying. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess the living in thing. I don't know. I just don't like the way that they do that with textures. Secondary preset. What? For what? The extensions? No, nothing there. Man, you had me going for a second. Nothing there. Alright, so we got these. These are for, you know, your little basic stuff. How many can you fit? Yeah, so I mean, you know, for ammo and stuff, I mean, you could fit a lot of crap in these little basic cargo boxes, right? So that's good. So we got that. Actually, I'm going to fix this as well. Getting rid of the door. And we're going to put a shutter door there. Only reason is if people, you know, if people do use my builds for multiplayer, I want to at least give them the ability to not have their door just shot out, you know? With the shutter doors, they require, you know, that you use a explosive device, so... Let's at least give them that slight advantage, being that the name is called Tactical Advantage. Okay, let's set that to the access motion. So that'll open and close. Now, no. Yeah, I mean, no, I can't do that because of the sensors. I was gonna say I could add another door, but let's not get carried away. Alright, so yeah, this is this is extended a bit. It's enough cargo, I think, for just, you know, about anything you need to do. The rad thing is a little weird, so we'll test that out as we fly. But yeah, let's test this out. Oh, the wireless device, right? Yeah, I do need to add the wireless device. That's the thing. Let's add that wireless connection. Put that somewhere safe here. What do we got here? We got that. So this is all actually keeping it airtight, and let's make sure that I forgot to check that again. Just a little spot check and make sure we're still airtight. And we are still airtight. So all these little half blocks and stuff are actually making this thing airtight. Yeah, so that's good. We're good there. Lighting and stuff still works okay. Let's turn this off. No, listen, I don't care. 7500 is not going to be the CPU limit for this. Trust me, it's not. It's not gonna be a thing. I'm not gonna sit here and sweat and cry about the CPU limit when it's not even gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing, but it's not gonna be that. What do I want this to be? I guess let's keep it like that. Now I could put LCDs showing the cargo capacity. Is that a thing? Do I need to do that? Wouldn't be bad, right? No, I don't care. I don't want to do that. Looks kind of weird. Okay. Hey, Doom, what's up, man? All right, so let's do this darker too. Kind of break this up a little bit here. Yeah, I mean, true, the RCS thing, but I'm probably gonna actually have to add some more to this. I feel once we get in this thing and see how it flies here. So let's go ahead and do test number 1. Oh, I have a max power setting. I forgot about that. All right, so let's deactivate that. Let's put the time back to whoop. Nope. What happened there? Oh. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're doing the Talon blade, Doom. Alright. So we're at max weight. The cargo boxes are full. We've got full ammo. We've got full cargo. We've got, yeah, everything's set up. Let's try it. Volume and weight is on. Alright, we could lift up just fine. Responsiveness is not great. At about half there, I started going up, and yeah, it didn't slow down quite like I wanted to. Oh, wait. I was totally gonna put the wireless connection in, and I just went off on a tangent. Let's put this in before I forget. So extension, fridge. What do you think? One fridge is good, right? I feel like one fridge is good. Yeah, let's just take the fridge out. We'll put the wireless connection right there. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go out of God mode. Alright, we're in here. Okay, so max speed forward. Whoa, see, a little slow there, right? It's not what it was. I mean, we're definitely good on speed as far as the overall top speed. We're okay, but it's really the handling, right? Power usage is down. Yeah, but see, it's not very responsive. Whoa, what just happened there? I don't know if that was lag or what that was. That was weird though. All I know is I'm getting mad XP. So I guess we need to maybe like find a POI or something, right? What's that? Small wreckage. Okay, so I didn't really venture far when I landed. I just kind of... Yeah, a lot of this is lag. That's just kind of what it is right now, so... procedural generation is mixing up here. But it seems like I can move okay. I mean, the side strafe is not what it is before. Definitely not. Yeah, definitely not. I don't know, everything just feels sluggish now. Just, yeah, it definitely feels sluggish to what it was. But this is not bad. It's moving okay. I feel like it could still do the job. Would I like more side thrust? Well, more thrust all around, definitely. But yeah, it's not bad. Boy, I was lagging all over the place though. But yeah, I think that's okay. I think, well, you know, to test to compare here, this is the Kukri, the little starter, my little starter SV here. And this thing's slow. See, it barely gets up. And this is empty. Yeah, and I am flying at full load. So exactly, I wouldn't be attacking the POI in full load, right? So definitely, it's definitely a thing. That being a little starter SV that you would maybe take to the moon and mine on the moon or whatever. In full load, that thing's gonna drag, like, you know. So I might need to look at doing a better, I think this is level 10. Yeah, better level 10 unlock SV for starter. But yeah, I think for what this serves, I think it still serves well. I think it's good. I'm gonna go ahead and update the current blueprint on the workshop with this, with the new refitting, and I think this will be good to go. I did take away the higher end weapons, so that now this can be an unlock at level 15. I feel it's not as OP as it used to be because of the changes to the weight and volume. So if you're playing with it, there's definitely going to be some better SVs at level 20 that'll outperform this now. You know, with some more generous thrust on all sides. And this is something that I'm going to design as well. I'm going to make an SV that's, I'll probably not venture too far more into this one, but I'll make something that's got more generous thrust. Left to update? Good amount. I mean, these are the SVs alone that I was looking at. These two I'm not going to do because of the cockpit issue. So I don't, and then obviously volume and weight, and then I know this is way more, 32,000 CPU, right? So while I'm optimistic about that CPU number, I'm not that optimistic. I'm sure it's not going to be 32,000, so Some of the older things like the switchblade, not sure if I'm gonna not sure if this is gonna get an update, but definitely the Talon's updated now, so at the end of the stream I will update the workshop with this. So this is the next one I want to look at. This is the Karambit. Let me make sure. Yeah, the Karambit Rapid Assault. So this is on the workshop, and this is my little fast fighter, little tiny fast fighter. It has a constructor, so it has a constructor in here. It has a cargo box up here. And honestly, I think that's fine. I don't need... This isn't meant to really carry anything. This is like, you know, that's for like putting some ammo or something in there. But it's got everything else. It's got a fridge, ammo locker. So it's got all the stuff you need, you know, if you get shot down and you need to survive out of this thing. You could definitely do that. So let's just test performance real quick. Yeah, so this still has some good response. Definitely still operates the way it should here with volume and mass on. Of course, you know, most servers and most people are not doing the volume mass, so you know this will perform as it always has. But I definitely don't feel bad about leaving this on the workshop and calling it fast and agile, because it definitely still is. So we're good on that. I'm not even gonna touch this. So this is the... Where'd it go? Follow my bald head. Okay, so this is the revision to the Dow blade. So the Dow blade is, in case you're not familiar, this guy here. So I always liked this design, but it wasn't a very smart design as far as where I place stuff. As you can see with the original here, if this gets shot out, you know, hello, how's it going, you know? And these passenger things are nothing. They're like 250, right? Even here, right? So boom, boom, killing the, you know, everything's gone. So I like the look of it, but yeah, it didn't really do it for me as far as this. And then even this situation here, the chain reaction possibilities on this. So this was definitely an older one of my designs where, you know, I wasn't too smart on the placement of stuff. So I started working on this. I got rid of the front guns completely. I tiered these off to where they don't chain react on both sides here. Added some, you know, some interesting aesthetics and whatnot. Added some redundancy weaponry over here. I guess these are the rail guns, right? But you can obviously swap them out for whatever you want. But yeah, I mean, just a little smarter. I, you know, armored up all this. This is a, you know, good amount of armor on these side. This is what I was hoping was going to be more of an exploratory SV. Not necessarily a tactical fighter, but could definitely hold its own. In Alpha 8, it could definitely take a POI. Not too optimistic now. We'll have to see. But I would need to obviously refit this in the same regard, and then I think I'll run into the issue with the cockpits as far as not being able to go in and out of them correctly. So we could test that now, actually. Yeah, so... Oh. That seems to be fine. Okay, what about this one? Yeah, so this is where I'm glitched in, right? So I wouldn't be able to have this passenger seat here. Which is okay, because, you know, you have the regular cockpit, which is right here, and then you have a secondary one, which somebody could sit in. So that's not bad at all. So yeah, I mean, I would just need to update these little things, and I can do that just fine. Fuel tank. Where's I getting reds from? I guess there's a generator behind here or something. But yeah, so, you know, this wouldn't be hard. I could still release this, but, you know, well, let's do the magic test here. Let's see if this thing can even fly still. We need to turn that on. Okay, so RCS thrusters on. Okay, so we still lift up just fine. It lifts up just as good as the Talon. Not too bad a response. Forward max speed. Reverse back speed. Yeah, look at that side thrust. I think it has more side thrust than the Talon. Now this is empty, mind you. I don't have this thing filled up. So I don't even have the new cargo in it. But yeah, I mean, I think this basically responds about the same as the Talon. So I could still release this, and this would be a viable exploratory SV. So yeah, I think this will be one that I definitely update to the new system and release that to the workshop within the next few days here. So these two are good. These two are off the board for now. The drop point is my older fighter. I mean, I don't even have to mess with this. I could probably just leave this. So it seems like the only thing I'm really gonna have to add would be the wireless connections. So I can add those easily enough and update. Let's try this out. Alright, so this is a bit heavier. Still moves good though. You know, it doesn't have as much thrust as my newer ones do, but it's not bad. Not a bad little individual fighter. I'll probably just leave this. I probably won't update it. Maybe at the least I could just add the wireless connection, but yeah, I mean, for a fighter, you add some ammo, it's still gonna perform okay. I think same with the switchblade. Let's see here. Now the switchblade has a warp drive, whereas the drop point doesn't. So it definitely has some more weight to it. Yeah, so, you know, empty, these things still fly okay. You know, because not only is it a weight thing, it's a mass thing, so it's distribution of weight when you move and everything is a thing. So with pretty much all my builds, I mean, I feel like I always kind of paid attention to that, so a lot of my stuff I think will still perform good. But yeah, so those are okay. So obviously this one is going to be, I think, a total redesign. I don't think I'm going to mess with this. It's kind of a dated build. I was never in love with the look of it, to be honest, so I probably will completely change this and do like a new starter SV, like level 7, level 10. See what I have to work with, so that'll be a new design. So other than that, yeah, just updating these two, releasing this one, and updating the Talon. I think we're good on the SVs that I really want to mess with. So that's gonna bring us to the bases. So let's go ahead and look at the bases here. So I've already kind of spawned all my bases in. This is the suburban wasteland of whetstones and grindstones and even the new sandstone, which I haven't showed anybody yet. I've got the orbital in here over there, oddly parked. So we're gonna look at well, let's look at bases here for a minute and see what it's gonna take for us to do this. I don't see myself necessarily messing with these today. We might here. Let's see here. Okay, so this would be the biggest one, the grindstone. Yeah, I still see you, Bone Dog, so I guess people just kind of stopped chatting. Okay, so this is the biggest one. This is the one that's super heavy armored, and you know, it has a lot of heavy armor and stuff. Something that you could maybe use in a multiplayer. I'm not gonna say it's PvP because, you know, any base can be infiltrated. I don't care if you make like a 50 block thick you know, cube of whatever, you know, it still can be infiltrated. So I won't call it PvP, but it's definitely a max armor PvE base. So my bases are, you know, I have them outlined strategically for storage, for accessibility, for function. So changing the cargo system on me and the constructor system on me, I haven't even, honestly, I haven't even thought about bases right now because I'm a little stressed by it. But let's see what we have here. So, you know, in this central area, you come in with your HVs and you have access to everything, to unload, to build, to repair, to do everything. You got the repair station there. You've got parking over here. And then you've got all these boxes. So, you know, obviously these have to go. So let's go ahead and remove these boxes. Go ahead and remove these because I don't foresee myself extending these out any longer. So we'll get rid of those. We have the 2 furnaces here. I assume furnaces work the same way. Yeah, so you just have a queue and then you have input and output. Yeah, Highlander's self-destructor. So I'm gonna leave these up here. Those are fine. Those can still be separate from the network of extensions. So this is kind of the you know, this falls into organization and concept here. When I'm pulling into my base and I'm offloading, with my miner, I'd be offloading, you know, I wouldn't even have to get out, right? I'd be offloading cargo, I'd be offloading whatever. I do feel like I want separate cargo systems. I don't want just one big box that I put all my crap in, be it parts, be it ingots, be it ore. You know, because you require to have an input and output box for constructors and furnaces, I want to organize that. So I want to have a input box of ore. So meaning I want a drop off ore box. I want a conversion box. So when, you know, it's complete, it goes into an ingot box. Do I want an ingot box for every ingot? No, I'm not going to get carried away with that. I leave that up to you guys. But I definitely do want to have an input system and an output system. So basically an ore system, ingot system, you know, and then just miscellaneous cargo system. Because obviously you'd need an output for the constructors as well. That's separate from probably the ingots. So, you know, we're probably looking at about, let's call it 3 systems. Ore, ingots, parts. So the other thing with bases is I have a lot to work with. There's a lot of internal blocks here that are just, you know, built for armor, but can definitely be swapped out for a lot of extensions. Like all this up here can be extensions, definitely. So let's look at what we have here. Let's all right, let's DSV ourselves here. So I recognize too that probably not a lot of people are using this base in particular, but this would be the grandest one that I've made that, you know, so with any of these, you know, I'm definitely going to update the rampart. I'm definitely going to update the, I think I'm going to update all my bases. So you have the Citadel, and then you have the smaller version, which is the rampart, which is also armored well, and it's a lot more, it's a lot newer. It has a deconstructor space. It has a nice guard and all that. It has some extensions. So these 2 are my newest ones. I'll definitely update those. Yeah. Now, as far as my older stuff, the dry dock, the original Whetstone early survival, I'll always update the early survival. That's kind of my most popular one. That's the one that the most people use and stuff still. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna update this. It's a good solid all-around design, so that'll definitely get updated. This is the newer version of that. This is the day 0. This is made out of wood, so this is all wood actually. You'd have to update this as quickly as possible. This is able to hold my H1 SVs or HVs that you could pull in here. So I'll update this. But see, that's the thing. Like, how important is it to update these other than adding the wireless block? Yeah, I mean, you have the cargo boxes, be it they're not, you know, they're not that big, 250, you know. So in a base sense, these things are small. So yeah, I would replace these with extensions probably and just put controllers. But yeah, I mean, other than that, these, you know, these are fully functional. They just need the wireless extension so that you can talk to, you know, your vessels as they come in. You know, the grit. Where's the grit? Grit's over here. This is kind of really my small little sub base for the minimalist at heart. Super small. This will be an interesting one because this at one point it has everything that you need. You can make a little garden. You got your, you know, your clone chamber and your little constructor and stuff, but you know, is this still viable? I don't know. So I'm gonna have to look at this and see if this is still a thing. But yeah, I'll definitely update all the bases. Oh, so the other thing I was looking at, which is kind of interesting to me, is the food processor. Now with cargo, you know, the input and output and all that stuff, that's a thing. But the more important thing I think to look at is the food. I hate survival when it comes to this. Let's try. Whoop. That's a little better, right? All right. So with the bases, with food storage, this is the shed here. You know, you've got a food processor, but it's also got a construction queue. So you've got an input and an output. So when, now I guess, can you still have the same input as the same output? You can, right? Okay, I saw some in the patch notes where you couldn't do that. Maybe I was mistaken as to what it was saying, but the way I would visualize it is you'd have a fridge of raw food and you'd have a fridge of like completed food. Now, the reason I say that is, you know, most of my bases, especially my newer ones, are built around making rations. Now, while the completed ration is not important, the process, you know, you throw everything in there, you make all the different stuff like the salami and the whatevers, right? So I want to put all of my pickings from my garden in one box, and I want it to output to the other box. So then the other food processor can pull from that output, and then it can build the ration. Now, I guess you could do it all from one, because it just pulls. But anyway, I still want at least 2 fridges, I think. So I think that's the important thing. 2 fridges, 1 food constructor, and then you have the input and output, and it's a little more organized than throwing everything in one thing, right? Yeah, so this is the shed. The problem with the shed is this upper thing. So this would probably, I don't know if I would update the shed, to be honest, because that's kind of why I made the rampart. I made the rampart to replace this. So the rampart is kind of this and the hangar kind of combined. The hangar is a bit bigger here. So the hangar definitely has some more room for vessels. If you like having big HVs and stuff, you know, you can still get around and have your big HV in here. So anyway, so in saying that, all of these are really going to be updated. The MRE and the dry dock, yeah, I'll probably still update them all. The orbital, I've definitely got some requests for the orbital to be updated, so I will update that. Haystacks, a buddy of mine in the Iron Man series, he actually did some revisions to this orbital because he uses it in his playthrough in the Iron Man series. So I'll definitely probably look at that and see what he did, and maybe update the core blueprint with his extension. I think he extended this out a bit so he could fit a bit bigger of an SV than I allowed, which isn't a bad idea. And then, you know, we'll take away some of these armor lockers. I don't know why I had 4 armor lockers. I mean, I don't know. You know, if you have a group of people, you each want your own armor locker, right? Kind of store your stuff in, have some replacement stuff. So yeah, all this will be fixed. Yeah. So, all right. So now that I've kind of showed all that, just to let everybody know that I am updating, we'll go back here and we'll just kind of test out the process a little bit here. So let's go ahead and grab some extensions. So we're gonna grab extensions, containers. Definitely need ammo, especially for this base. And then obviously there's no harvest box. So the other thing is I need 3 systems, right? So in needing 3 systems, that means I need to... Let's just do this one time, because we know we're gonna need these. Okay, that's just going into that room. That's not going outside. Yeah, see, look at all that great room here. Okay, so we will put... I guess we could even... Yeah, let's go nuts, right? We could, There we go. Alright, so let's get the extensions going. So we're doing 3 systems. So we'll start with that. Now let's go from this end. We'll do 3 on this side. So that leaves us with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's leave us with 6, right? It's an odd number. I don't like that. So, okay, so ingots. Well, I guess the ingot storage is going to be your most important storage anyway, right? That's what you're going to retain more than any of the other ones. So I guess that's not a bad thing for that to be the bigger one. You know, when you make the ore, you drop off ore, yes, but then it goes away. So you're not continually keeping ore in there and stacking it. Whereas with the ingots, you're actually stacking. So you want maximum capacity. And then with parts, once you build the parts, you're more or less using them, or you're taking them out and you're putting them elsewhere. So yeah, the ingot storage can be the most important storage, definitely. So, okay, so with these, I don't want to connect them because I want to keep them the same here. So now we just have to figure out strategically where we want the actual extension. So this would be a good place to have ore drop off. So we can remove this, and I mean we can go nuts. We can just remove all these, right? Put these here, and then we'll put a, I guess it'd be a regular one, right? Well, let's put it this way. Like that. All right, so that'll be ore drop off, right? And we have 104,000 storage here for that. Yeah, I feel like that's not going to be nearly what we want. I'm going to continue for now, though. See what we got here. Now, as far as texture, let's see here. Yeah, so I do have that texture, so let's go ahead and remove this. Oh, that's a half block anyway. Okay, so we'll remove this. We'll add that here. Was that a half? What did I do there? Yeah, I guess that was a half. Yeah, half. Okay. No. Yeah. Okay, whatever. So yeah, so that'll be there, and then we'll put this one here. Okay, so that's 120,000. That's your ingot storage, right? So then we'll do the same thing here. This will be for parts. Oh, I see what I did. Yeah, I shouldn't have removed that. Okay, so this is this. I don't want to mess with that. What is this? Armored concrete? I feel like this is probably regular concrete because it's inside. Let's replace this back and this. I was also hoping that in this update they would allow us to have all the textures for all the types of material for all the blocks, but you know, so be it. All right, so those have to be separated, so we'll leave that for now. We can fill that later. So the other thing is gonna be, where do I put the parts box? We could kind of wrap it around, but I want to have it accessible. I guess we'll just do it here. Oh, okay. Well, we can fix that stuff. Oh wow, I did all that. Ammo missing. Wow, I did what? Oh, maybe I didn't have any on me at all at any time there. Hold on, let's do that. Survival building thing. Now I know there's tons of spots I can add more, so we'll do that after. We can extend this out, but I just kind of want to get the placement first here. Okay, so we have our ore drop off, we have our ingot storage, and we have our parts, or basically our constructor output. Not the most uniform. Yeah, I'm not. See, my vision, and I think this would probably just require a whole new base design, right? But my concept is, you know, I want to have all my cargo controller extensions pretty much right in the same place. Now, I realize you can't stack them one next to each other like that, right? But maybe at least staggered off by one. Like a 1, 2, 3 thing staggered by one. And then that way you have access to everything right there. It's not all kind of scattered like it is right now. But because this is a refit, you know, I mean, there's not much else I can do, so I think this works, but it's not great for the OCD. Okay, so those are gonna need something outward here. I could even extend it a bit more here. Let's do that. So put that there for now. And that'll be the lights. Those are the lights that flash when the furnace is on, like that. So we'll leave that. All right, good stuff. So okay, so let's see how the texture works for these. Yeah, see, so I don't have the carpet texture to continue this concrete look, so I'll have to go to stone, or not stone, but yeah, that's true, Bone, good point. I mean, I could just kind of, so that's a point. I could yeah, I could definitely extend it. Let's try that. So let's try to add, yeah, so I could add them here like so. This is for the furnace drop off, so we can definitely leave that like that. This one goes down here, so I probably want to, we need to keep that separate, so let's do this. Let's that's parts. Alright, so this is the big one. This is the one that I definitely want to extend as much as possible here. Just leave this separate. so let's see how we are with that now. This is the ingot. This is the ingot box here. So we're at 200, about 250,000 storage here. Let's see what that translates to here. Where's there we go. Yeah, so that's only a fifth, and I was able to do about half an old school box. So that's a good amount of ingots that you're holding on to there with that. It's definitely enough to build anything and continually have excess. Of course, I could go nuts. I mean, I could really like extend it up, and I can manipulate a lot of blocks in here. I could do the whole floor here if I wanted to. So the other thing is power, right? So these do take power. We have to recognize that. I can't believe this thing's within CPU. What? Okay. Wow, this thing's within CPU? What? That's weird. Did they make things like crazy? Well, I guess it has no thrust. It has no RCS. I guess those are the things that are CPU. So yeah, let's see what the power draw is here. So we're at 1.65 KPU, and I'm outputting 5 right now. We're at 36 hours of power. This is with let's turn oxygen on. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I could literally make this whole area extensions if I wanted to. I mean, now, it's up to you. If you get a stray shot and it hits anywhere on the floor, all your cargo is falling somewhere. So, it just, yeah, I mean, it's up to you. The bases, especially like this big one, I mean, it's endless. You can have an obscene amount of storage if you want. You could just continually add and extend as you need. Me as the designer, I don't necessarily, I don't want to. I think 250 is good. I think you can hold a good amount of ingots, but you as the user of it, you can extend it as you need to. I would probably build bases now based on that. So like if a cargo stronghold, something that is completely cargo internal and has nothing but extensions to carry off-site stuff. But a working base like this, I don't feel like it has to have an obscene amount of cargo. This being the biggest one, I definitely would want the most cargo in here. But some smaller stuff like the grit and like the original whetstone, I will definitely take advantage of the floor and stuff because I have very limited space to work with. But as far as systems go, for these three, 120,000 just for parts. I think parts are pretty small, not a whole lot. As far as the drop off, that's a good amount to drop off. I could probably extend this out a little bit more, maybe even over here for ore drop off, and then that way the furnaces have something to pull from, to go into the constructors and the deconstructor and whatnot, and then outbound. So I'm sorry, so there's going to be a fourth system, which is ammo. So that would need to be somewhere as well. So I have the ammo boxes over here currently, so that would change. I could definitely have extensions going out here and then just keep the ammo down here. So let's do that real quick here. So we can't tie into that one. Let us wait. Let us wait 1 minute. There we go. Okay, so this here. $80,000. Yeah, so see, I mean, this is enough for those guns, and then, you know, there are like 5 other sets of ammo that I'm gonna have to have in there, but I'm only at 5,000 out of 80,000, so that's plenty. That's plenty of space for ammo. So I think we're good there. And all the rest of this, I mean, I could make little subsystems if I want to. Like, let's say you're sharing this base with somebody and you want your own personal cargo. I mean, you still have plenty of room here to you know, add cargo and whatnot. None of this changes. This is where you can add the extra generators and stuff. So all that's kind of still the same. That's fine. I don't have to mess with that. The garden area here. All that's kind of the same. You have all right, Bone Dog, catch you later, man. You have plenty of fridges here for storage, 4 food processors to, you know, make rations and other things you want to make. Plenty of garden plots. So all this, you know, all this is fine. None of this changes as far as the cargo and everything. These can still be for, you know, just extra meds and stuff. The most important thing I think with these new systems is actually labeling your cargo boxes, because when I'm off site and when I'm off site and I'm in my vessel and I'm approaching my base and I want to just quickly move my ore back and forth, you know, you need to have all that stuff labeled, and then that way it's just easier for you. If it's your personal box, if it's your ore ingot box or whatever, all those things need to be labeled properly. So, I mean, that's kind of it. The bases are all just going to be updated. I'll basically do that same thing. And so the most important ones, I think I'll do the rampart immediately. I'll do the original whetstone immediately, and I'll do the orbital. And definitely the new starter one. So those will be the most important thing. I do want to show you this real quick. This is the I haven't uploaded this to the workshop yet, but this is the new sandstone drop pod base. What would I call it? Drop pod, yeah. So this is made out of concrete, regular concrete. So, you know, if you just had some stones or whatever and you needed to make a quick base, it's strong enough to where it's not wood, so once you drop it, you will probably get drones fairly quickly, so you'd want to have some ammo on you. But yeah, let's say you get shot down and you need somewhere to work out of. This thing will, or at least when I built it before, see the sun's over here, so these aren't going to be affected, but you'll strategically place this to where the sun is at that moment, and that way you can start up right away. But as far as consumption, it's 107. And the output currently is it's a lot more, so let's see here. Generators 3. Let's turn everything offline for now. Let's simulate having oxygen here. So consumption is nothing. For 2, so yeah, I think we're running on solar, I believe. Let's make sure though. So anyway, so you walk in. Well, I'll show you the outbound right now. So you do have defense right now from drones and stuff. You have the sentry turrets, and then you have the cannon turret on top. So you have decent protection here. These boxes will need to change, obviously. Okay, so there does seem to be a power situation here. It's starting and stopping. So this is a weird thing with solar that I find. It's like, it's saying that it's okay, but it's really not. You really have to add some power to it initially. So, but yeah, you have everything in here: armor locker, food processor. These will obviously have to change to extensions and stuff, but you'll have boxes and an ammo box. You'll have a large constructor. You have the clone chamber, oxygen station. So it has everything you need. Fridge. So yeah, I mean, this can all work with the new stuff. I just have to change the extensions. But it's dirt cheap. It's like, yeah, 21 wood planks, 162 stone dust, 58 iron, 108 copper, 98 silicone and some carbon substrate. Only takes 9 minutes. You could have one of these already cooked and ready to go in case you get into an issue. But yeah, it has more or less everything you need on the fly other than the med station. But you know, this is unlock level 5, so fairly early you can drop this thing and work out of it as you're working on your HV. And you know, some people like to start with a base, some people like to start with an HV. This can work as a good companion for your HV. It doesn't have a medic chamber, it has the clone chamber. You can update it to the medic chamber once you get to that level, but I think that would have brought me to level, is it 7 or level 10 for the med bay? Unlock level 10. So I didn't, you know, I wanted to keep it at 5 in case people want to use this early survival. But you could certainly, you know, change it out if you want to after the fact. But super small minimalist build. I did include the little baseboards there so that when you go to place it, you know to place it underneath to where that doesn't show, and that'll keep everything proper and structural integrity and whatnot. But it does have battery, so it has everything you kind of need for like a little starter situation there. So that's the sandstone drop pod. I'll be updating this, and this will be a new build that I'll have in my workshop soon. So yeah, I think that's more or less it. So you know, doing the bases and everything, you know, I'm gonna outfit these and I'm gonna update the current blueprints on my workshop, same as the SVs that I showed you guys. And then, you know, some of the other stuff like the forge, I am going to redesign the forge enough to where I'm going to need to re-release that. So that's I'm going to make the other forge a legacy build, and you know, I'll leave that on the workshop, but that's not going to be updated for Alpha 9. I am going to do a completely newer version of the forge because I love the forge. It's my favorite CV that I've made. It's the one that I actually use in all my games. So I want to make sure that, you know, I build that, you know, to be as functional as possible in this new climate. So I will be working on that steady. So you should see that in the next couple weeks. Currently, you know, the rebar is currently on the workshop. It's on the front page right now. So grab that if you don't have that. It's a good CV to go alongside a miner, and you can move around the planet. It does still have warp, so you can go to other planets. You can carry along your auger, your rotary, or you know, your drill sergeant, ladybug, your spange miner, whatever you have to go from planet to planet with. SAS stands for Sabers and Shields. It's originally my World of Tanks clan that a group of us carried over to this game and currently play this game. But yeah, that's what SAS stands for. So yeah, I think that is going to be it for today. It was a good, I think this was a good rounded stream. So, you know, to recap, we've updated the, we've looked at the HVs, especially the miners. That was the first thing we did. If you want to watch back and you haven't seen that first stream, we updated the auger, we updated the rotary, and then on the second stream we moved over to the HVs and we moved over to the CV, the rebar. So we got an idea of what the new stuff is for the CVs and what needs to be done in order to update your stuff there. This third stream, we've looked at the SVs and what needs to be done to those, and we've looked at the bases. So I think we have an idea of you know, how we can all update our stuff and how I'm going to be updating my stuff. And then I think we've also learned a good amount as far as looking forward and looking at the newer designs that we're going to be building and creating, what we need to take into account as far as the volume and the weight, as far as the CPU, and as far as the cargo, and really as far as the specialized designs. That's going to come into play a lot more now. You know, there's no longer all-in-one builds, and if they are, they're very marginal, because you are going to have that CPU cap at some point. I don't think it's going to be 7,500, but it's going to be something. So there's no more huge motorhomes that do everything, including POIs, and you can live in them, and you can mine and harvest and salvage and whatever. Like, you can't do that anymore. So I think that's great. I think, you know, we're going to have a lot more designs on the workshop. I think there's going to be a lot more creativity, a lot more demand for specialized designers that do a lot more utility and function, more industrial stuff, more destructive POI stuff. I think a really good fighter SV is going to be a lot harder to build now, and it's going to be valued a lot more. So, you know, I see a lot of designers picking up on that. Jay Randall's been building week per week, putting out stuff for this this new climate. So I think, you know, Spange as well has been building a lot of stuff. He's got a couple things on the front page right now for this newer Alpha 9. So I think a lot of more of the designers are they're probably building right now, or they're looking at it and they're understanding what needs to be done so that they can update their workshops, and so we can get a lot more stuff out. Be it Trig, Siege. Hopefully Super Killen's looking at the new update, and he's thinking of some stuff because he's put out a lot of great stuff as well. You know, and then a lot of the newer designers, you know, people like, you know, Bullet and Bone Dog and Tacticians back now building stuff, and you know, so I guess, you know, mainly what I wanted to do with this stream is, you know, I was scared of Alpha 9. I was scared of what it was going to do to the workshop. I'm not scared anymore. I understand it. I get it. I've delved in. I hope I did that with you guys to where you can see what needs to be done. And yeah, let's just build more creative stuff. I definitely always want to promote designers and what you guys do. My Discord, you know, please promote your stuff. Show me what you're doing. Give me concepts. I'll give you guys concepts. As far as my YouTube channel, I'll continue streaming. I'll continue doing... I'm probably going to be doing a Let's Play at some point for Empyrean now. I'm going to be putting out a designer spotlight show, which I'll probably do bi-weekly, and it'll basically highlight a designer and, you know, their entire collection, their body of work. I'll probably focus on, I was looking at doing like 5 builds of the designer and showing them off, and then, you know, possibly even having conversations on mic with them and understanding, you know, where they're coming from and what their motivation is, so that people can learn from that and get an idea. The one thing about the designer spotlight is I will always show their first creation on the workshop, more or less. I mean, their first, you know, real build. A lot of people, you know, they put out some weird little HV that, you know, doesn't do anything, and then they get it and they put out like a CV, or they put out something that's, you know, a bit more thought through. So I'll probably display that one, because I want the newer designers to look, you know, even if it's somebody like Jay Randall, he started somewhere, right? He started with the Nebula. He started, you know, so I mean, you look at his first build and, you know, it looks like a lot of what I see a lot of the new designers putting out. So, you know, if you just continue on with stuff and continue building, you'll get the hang of it, and you'll get more style into it. And, you know, I've seen a lot of great stuff come from people that started building about 3 weeks to a month ago. So yeah, long-winded. I'm gonna close at that. But you know, thanks everybody for joining the stream. I appreciate all the input. I appreciate all the help on the Discord and everything. And I will catch you guys probably next Tuesday. It might not be the same thing as far as refitting. It might turn into a building situation where you know, I'm just building a new design. It might turn into some other kind of testing thing, but I do want to continue the format of Tuesday and Thursday if possible, where we're doing some live Empyrean stuff. So please stay tuned on my channel on YouTube, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.